It happened on a Thursday night. A single sentence, sharp enough to cut straight through me. Your touch bothers me. Move away. For a moment, I simply stood there, suspended in place, my hand still hovering in the space between us. The warm glow of the living room lamp brushed across her face, but her eyes carried none of that warmth, only fatigue, maybe even disgust. We'd been married 6 years. Yet in that instant, I felt like an intruder in my own house. Her name was Jessica. There was a time when she folded herself into my arms every night, when closeness was comfort instead of obligation. But lately, everything about her felt distant. Her smile had become a practiced gesture. Her hugs felt like something she gave because she had to, not because she wanted to. I kept telling myself she was overwhelmed, that it would pass. But I was wrong. Something cracked open inside me that night. I searched her face for any hint that she regretted the words she'd said, but she never even looked up. Her thumbs kept scrolling across her phone, as if my presence was just an irritation. "You heard me," she added without emotion. "Just stop hovering. I need space." I nodded slowly. "Space," I repeated. "All right." Then I went upstairs, filled a small bag, and walked out. No slam of the door. No raised voice. No goodbye. Just quiet disappearance. For 2 days, I stayed in a modest motel on the edge of the city. No calls. No messages. Nothing. I thought maybe she'd at least notice I was gone. But the silence remained unbroken. I stared at the motel ceiling at night, wondering how a marriage could end without a single argument. Just a slow, suffocating drift. On the third night, everything changed. Near midnight, my phone lit up once, twice, then 10 times. All missed calls. "Jessica." I stared at the screen, unsure whether to feel hope or anger. Messages followed. "Where are you? Why aren't you answering? Please pick up." By morning, there were more than 50 missed calls. The silence she once craved had finally started to strangle her, but it was already too late. Her panic didn't mend the damage. It just reminded me how hollow her words had made me feel. A few days later, I returned home. The house felt stripped, too tidy, too still, like she tried to erase me from the air. My mug, gone. My jacket, not by the door. Even the faint trace of my cologne had vanished. Jessica sat on the couch, eyes swollen and red. She shot to her feet when she saw me. "You didn't even tell me you were leaving," she said shakily. "Do you have any idea what you put me through?" I looked at her for a long moment. "You said my touch bothered you," I said calmly. "I thought my absence might make it easier for you to breathe." Her lips trembled. She wanted to defend herself, but couldn't. She dropped back onto the couch, burying her face in her hands. "I didn't mean it like that," she whispered. "I was tired, angry. I just wanted space." "You didn't ask for space," I replied. "You pushed me out." The silence that followed was different now, no longer indifferent. Heavy, guilty. Over the next days, she tried to fix what she'd broken. She made my favorite meals, forced laughter at jokes that weren't funny, sent long messages during the day like she used to. But something in me had changed. The part that used to chase her affection was gone. I wasn't angry anymore, just empty. One night, she tried to hug me. I didn't move. Her arms hesitated midair before falling to her sides. "You're not coming back to me, are you?" she whispered. I looked at the woman who once meant everything to me and said, "You taught me how to leave, Jessica. You just didn't expect me to learn." She cried, but I didn't stay to watch. I walked out again, this time without a bag, without hesitation. When someone tells you your presence is a burden, your disappearance becomes the kindest gift you can give. That night, her calls began again. A flood of numbers on my screen. I turned off the phone. She finally had her space, and I finally had my peace. Weeks passed before she reached out again. By then, I'd rented a small apartment downtown, started morning runs, found comfort in quiet routines, black coffee, sunrise walks, evenings without tension. For the first time in years, I could breathe on my own. One evening, I came home to find her outside my door. Her hair was disheveled, her face hollow. She clutched a small paper bag in trembling hands. I didn't know where else to go, she said softly. I didn't step closer. Why are you here, Jessica? She looked up with the sorrow of someone who realized the magnitude of what they'd broken. Because I ruined everything, she whispered. You were the only one who ever truly cared. I chased freedom and ended up with emptiness. Her words should have stirred something in me, but they didn't. I'm not angry, I said quietly, but I can't go back. You showed me what it feels like to be unwanted. I can't unlearn that. She nodded, tears streaming down. I deserve that, she murmured. I just hoped maybe we could start over. I opened the door just enough to hand the bag back. Inside were fragments of our past. A wedding photo, my old watch, a love note from years ago. Keep them, I said. They belong to who we were, not who we are. She didn't plead. She just looked at me one last time, as if memorizing what she was losing, and walked away. Her footsteps faded down the hall. Later that night, my phone buzzed with her final message. I hope you find someone who never recoils from your touch. I smiled faintly and turned the phone off, because the truth was simple. I'd already found someone. Myself. Sometimes leaving isn't about revenge. It's about finally realizing peace doesn't come from someone else. It begins the moment you stop begging for love that was never meant for you.